is up, guys? Welcome back to the show. This is the Cosmic Den, and I'm your humble host, Ro. It is 6:29 at the a.m., getting an early jump on the day. So today we have a two-parter, and for that reason, this video will only be half of the story. He makes an update detailing what's happening. So I'm going to try to keep this video around 20 minutes long, maybe a tiny bit longer. So without further ado, let's begin. So here we are on our relationship advice. This is a treasure trove of people who, as the name suggests, are wanting advice on the relationship. So as someone who's interested in intersexual dynamics and things of that nature, let's check out what the guy wants. I did read ahead, so I have an idea of what to expect and what I'm going to say. Over 2 decades later, I, male 40, might have a chance with the first girl I ever loved. I am crippled with anxiety about messing things up. Help. So right off the bat, we can sort of classify this guy as a typical nice guy. More than likely, it was someone that was not very good with women at a young age, which perfectly understandable. Not everyone is. So he now has a chance with his one-itis. Let's bigify this. The reason I bigify, not just to help y'all read, but my eyesight isn't the best, and these glasses do not help me read. So at the tender age of 14, I fell in love with the first time. Aww. It was with a funny friend. It was with a friend in my class at school. She had me hook, line, and sinker. She was kind, funny, intelligent, and beautiful. And she did feel the way I did. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I accepted her feelings, and we were close friends. So this guy he's in the friend zone. My feelings for her persisted in one form or another throughout high school and into our 20s. I never sat around waiting for her. I dated and loved other girls, but a piece of me always held a candle for her. Okay, so he's in the friend zone. He knew he didn't have a chance at that age, so he moved on. But somewhere in his mind, he still kept thinking about this girl. So we had lost touch for a while, but a few years ago, she got in touch with me. Interesting. We hung out with our old friends, some group dinner parties, and met each other's families. At this time, she was married, and so was I. We then both got busy with life and didn't see each other for a little while, other than the odd social media post / comment. During this time, my marriage was breaking down for reasons totally unrelated to my friend. You didn't have to mention that, man. No. My ex and I filed for divorce, but remain amicable. Not the best. I mean, as far as exes go, it's best to separate oneself. But yeah, just try to remain with a certain level of civility. You don't have to be best friends, but it sounds like that's what that guy's doing. He's being respectful, so whatever. Current situation. I recently found out that my friend had also gotten a divorce. Her husband had been cheating on her. When I found out, I called her to ask how she was going. We had a pleasant chat. She said she was doing really well and was in a good place. That's more than likely not true. And it's just like saving face. And she asked me out to dinner to catch up. Now, we've seen this a million times, especially if you've been around this community. So there's this nice guy, And then there's a girl we really wanted to get with when he was younger. Uh, Nothing happens. She's in the prime of her life. She doesn't have to go for the nice guy. And then years later, once her selection of men has dwindled a bit, she's not getting the guys she used to get. She goes for someone that is a sure thing, that she knows will be stable. So that is typically this is typically the period when that stuff starts to happen, usually once they hit the wall. So let's see how this continues. Okay, we were right here. So now we never hung out one-on-one when we were married, as it would have been somewhat inappropriate. Of course, it would have been. There was nothing that indicated anything but platonic feelings from her when she asked me over the phone, so I was just excited to spend time with my friend. Now, I personally don't believe in having friendships with the opposite sex. I think either one person will harbor feelings for another, maybe the guy for the girl, maybe the girl for the guy. Either way, someone will probably end up being hurt. So we agreed it would make more sense for me to pick her up, as I would be driving almost by her house to get to the restaurant. Just already starting to turn into a date-like situation. She walked out of the house, and I don't know what happened in that moment. I saw her, and immediately I was 14 again. Oh, how sweet is that, guys? That's like something straight out of a movie. It's nice. And I wonder if this person writes fiction. I started quivering. Again, I wonder if they write fiction. My voice was shaking. My words made no sense. The first hint of the night that she may not just want to be friends. The way she was dressed. I was expecting jeans and t-shirt, but her slinky dress screamed date night. I turned to jelly. She was still so fucking beautiful. So what I'm thinking here is, this guy has a one-itis for this girl. Obviously, if you don't know what one-itis means, it is basically being so infatuated with someone to the point where it's somewhat debilitating. It does not permit growth, individual growth. So let's see if we can spot that in here. We had a great night of conversation, dinner and drinks. And there's a few things this guy does wrong, and I'll point those out as I read them. I won't harp on them too long, as I don't want this video to go super long. And there was no use fighting it. I was falling back in love with her again. Well, that's one right there. At this point, I was certain I had no chance. Boom. Low self-esteem. But then we went for a walk after dinner. We found a nice spot by the beach. We had dinner at and sat down. She sat close to me, and it was obvious she was cold. So I put my arm around her. This is a good thing. Credit where credit is due. At least this guy had the balls to put his arm around her. He made a move. So we sat like this for a while, chatting. I was frozen with fear and anxiety. I couldn't do anything if I wanted to. I dared not to move. I can't remember what led up to it, but we were laughing about something, and then suddenly, she was moving towards me. So clearly she wanted him to kiss her, and we kissed. After that, everything is a blur. We made out, we spoke, we laughed. She held my hand. I felt like I was floating. So I want to stop here for a second. So it seems pretty obvious to me that when they made these plans, she full fully intended to end up getting more intimate with this guy. I mean, like he says, the way she was dressed, the way conversation flowed, and especially the actual physical intimacy of it. I mean, she moved in, and that stuff doesn't just happen. To an extent. So I dropped her home and told her I wanted to see her again soon. She texted me when I got home to tell me she had one of the best nights in a very long time and how she can't wait to see me again too. So what this is telling me is, one, I would like to see a picture of her to see if she's really as hot as he claims. But what I'm thinking is she is definitely post-wall, and she wants someone that's a bit more certain. Her ex-husband cheated on her, and she knows that she's getting old, so she would like that security. We texted back and forwards a couple of times, and then she said, I think this could be something really good. Of course. That's really all she has to say, and she has him. And the anxiety kicked back in, and I left her on red. Nice. Obviously, I don't think he intentionally did that, but I think definitely leaving her on red would sort of get her hamster wheel rolling and definitely get her more invested in this relationship. Clearly, that's what it seems that he wants as well. But because I disagree, not because I disagree, but because I'm paralyzed with fear of fucking this up. And this fear that he has, I can assure you right now, guys, that this fear of fucking up, which he's probably had since he was 14, that is going to be what ultimately ends this relationship. Women prefer men who are solid. For instance, consider a relationship as such. It's a wheel of a bicycle, and there's the outer area of the bicycle, which we'll call the woman. Then what's holding the woman up are the spokes. So if these spokes are not structurally sound, then it will fall inward and eventually lead to a crumpling of the relationship. Now, this guy is not structurally sound at all. He's admitted to the internet that he's riddled with anxiety and fear of fucking things up. So he's going to be, tiptoeing, always supplicating, and that shit will fuck this relationship up. That shit will lead to him being abused as well. Because he's a doormat. That's just the most honest way to put it. The anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Realizing that I could actually have a chance with my dream girl. Again, like he's putting this girl on a pedestal way too much. And she knows that. Honestly, I think that's why she chose him. So, and I am terrified. She is way too good for me. Pedestalizing again. She's way more successful, ambitious, financially secure, accomplished, and intelligent than I am. See, and this is actually the part where I'm a bit, flummoxed. I'm a bit befuddled, whatever you want to say. I'm assuming this has something to do with her having hit the wall and looking for someone to settle with, because she can't exactly find someone who has these traits but just more than her. So again, she's settling. However, this one, when I read this sentence here, I was a bit off put, but I think I just explained it pretty well. So I feel like I am out of her league, and that she will wake up and realize this sooner or later. Again, that fear will fuck him up. How do I not fuck this once in a lifetime chance up? How do I woo her? Make her feel special? This is the closest she has ever been to ever falling in love with me. I can't lose her again. And the very fact that you think you can't lose her again is what will drive her away. So, what is my suggestion to this guy? One, obviously, improve yourself to where you're not pedestalizing her. If you can gain self-confidence through hobbies, career, just working out, looking better will help a lot. Then that will actually aid in keeping her around. There's no challenge for a woman when she knows that she is the only thing the man wants. It's just boring. And that makes complete sense. So if he really wants to keep her around, he should definitely improve himself and change the way he relates to this relationship. He should be feeling like, hey, she's just as lucky, if not more lucky, to have gotten some guy that's as cool as me. Obviously, this guy has a lot of growing to do emotionally. I mean, at 40 years old, he should not be feeling like he's 14. So here's the update, and I'm not going to go over it in this video. That is for the next video. But I do want to read the first comment, just to see. Oh wow, that's almost as long. This is longer than the post. Oh no, shit. This is the OP. Actually, yeah, so let's go over this. This is obviously going to be important. I'm going to just sort of go through it quickly unless I spot something that's really relevant. We'll see what happens. Actually, I've read this. This is actually the next post, so I'm not going to go over it right now. I'm actually going to end the video here, and I want to hear what you guys think about this story. So leave that in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time, perhaps tomorrow, very shortly. So I also have another video that I did a few days ago. I haven't posted it yet, so I'll probably post that today as well. So you'll have 2 videos today. You're welcome. And let's play us out, and that'll be the end of the show. Have a great rest of your day.